Hey everybody, this is Amanda Davis, owner and founder of Business Solutions by Design, your accounting ally. Coming back to you the month of June to talk about all things travel. So before we get started, I thought I'd share my little cutout. I cut this out when I was in high school for some reason. It really spoke to me. It says, "This fish is in, he is always in. If he goes out, he will die. You, however, have no excuse." So I kind of just enjoy that little thing. So if you're going to be getting out and traveling, why not make sure that you're safe? So the first place to go is the State Department. There are a lot of things if you're traveling abroad to double check on and some safety concerns. You may need some vaccinations that you maybe weren't aware of. For instance, my sister was invited to get her rabies shot when she was traveling over to India. So there might be some things that you're not thinking about that is a concern for a specific region. Another thing is, if you are traveling, go ahead and just Google some travel scams for that particular region or country. Each one kind of has different things going on. When we would travel to Mexico, we were there with somebody who actually spoke the language. And when we got off the plane, we were supposed to have a shuttle take us to the hotel, which is, a 5-minute drive, if that. And the guys that you meet outside of the airport basically grab you and tell you your shuttle left, it's never coming back, and it's gonna be a $50 cab ride. And if you really thought that was true, you'd probably pay the cash. But the free bus is coming in 5 minutes, come to find out. So just double check your region and the scams that come along so that you're less likely to be taken advantage of. And then emergency information. Wherever you're going to be traveling, go ahead and write down the emergency contact information. If you're in a bind, if something does happen, you don't want to be trying to thumb through figuring out how to get a hold of somebody for help. And along that line, if you're staying in a place that you don't speak the language, make sure you learn at least one phrase, and that is "help me" in their language. Because if you are in a bad spot, then that's gonna get you help a lot faster. So figure out how to say "help me" in their language. If you can invest a little bit more time and learn the language, that would probably serve you as well. And travel insurance, of course, you do wanna leave your valuables at home, but of course, you may not have that ability. You may have to take a laptop, or if you're a photographer, you might be bringing your camera equipment. So get some travel insurance on that just in case. I was looking up some of these travel things because I'm not a well-versed traveler. I'm doing it a little bit more, but one of the things that surprised me when I looked up is one of the people said that they actually kept a decoy wallet, so that if they were ever in a position where they got held up and the person said, "Give me your wallet," they could just hand that right over, and it was cool. So hopefully you don't have to do that, but I thought that was really shocking when I saw that. I was like, it's amazing. Criminals are pretty inventive, right? So you got to be inventive right along with them. And transportation, know the rate before you go so that you're not taken advantage of or have a higher rate, that kind of stuff. This is pretty common for anywhere you would travel, even if you're not traveling. But if you're taking a cab, a taxi cab, like a legitimate taxi service, go ahead and take a picture or memorize or write down the cab number you're in just to be safe. It's going to be so much simpler for you to find some of your lost belongings if you left them there, if you actually know the cab number. And if something does happen, you have record of where you traveled, what cab you were in. And then the rideshare services, the Ubers and Lyfts of the world, right? So just general safety tips. This can be in your home, going out for a night of drinking so that you are safe and not driving, but you can imbibe and enjoy yourself. Make sure you double check the license plate number from the app. The app tells you who's coming. They gives you a picture of the person, their description, make, model, color of the vehicle, and it includes the license plate. So I just walk around back and double check the license plate. First of all, that's my first move. But another thing that they do recommend is asking them who they're there for. So if you just walk up and be like, "Hey, are you picking up Amanda?" They're like, "Oh yeah, just get in." That's not really that's a bad control. That's a lack of control. So you want to ask them who they're there for to ensure that they are there for you, in fact. And you can track the trip on your phone. So if somebody needs to know that you're safe, or if you're going to meet somebody and they need to kind of see, hey, when are you arriving? You could just see the trip on the phone, and you can share that with whomever, or you can track it yourself while you're in the vehicle. So those are some tips. ATMs, if you're going to be pulling out cash, you know, it says it's better if you go to a bank branch and pull out money there. The ATM will less likely be tampered with if it's at a bank versus a freestanding one or one in a different location that's not attached to a physical bank. Just take precautions, make sure you're aware of your surroundings, and, you know, cover the PIN whenever you're putting your code in. Thieves are clever. Criminals are very, very clever. If they can find a way to steal your money, they will. So be very careful with that. You know, just try to be safe when you're traveling. We want to make sure you enjoy your trip. One of the tips they said is that when you're going to market and you're going to, I think these are just general safety tips, to be honest. Keep less cash whenever you're paying for things. So when you pull out your wallet, you have cash and it's not a big pile of cash. You know, you might be traveling with more cash than you want to pay for at that particular market or whatever. Put those in separate locations and safe locations and secure locations, but have less cash when you're pulling out your wallet and paying for stuff. People will see that you have less cash on hand and you'll be less attractive to mug, if you will. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then they said, keep your credit cards and your cash separate. I think those are probably some pretty good pieces of advice. I can't say I followed all of them, but now that I know a little bit better, I'm sure I can implement some of them on my next trip. So I hope you get out, you see the world and travel and see the country and enjoy yourself this summer, but I also hope you are safe. So this is Amanda Davis, owner and founder of Business Solutions by Design, your accounting ally. We'll be coming back to you next week to talk more things travel. Have a wonderful and safe travel season, everybody.